Right, I'm back. I've just removed that bit of metal that we were talking about, just to make it fit slightly better. Just set those two to the side for a minute, the trigger and put those two parts to the side for now. Right, get a screwdriver and remove the screws. So that we can open the handle up again. Take your screws out, and then we're going to start preparing the inside of the stock for the nut and the trigger. Right, so we can take this handle, we can take the stock apart now, remove the top part, just turn it over and move it to the side for now. Get your nut and your trigger and just pry them in place inside the handle. Because what we're going to do, we're going to mark around those now to cut out. So the simplest thing to do would just be to cut it straight down like that. Hang on. Cut that straight down like that, and then with the back, it might be better if we did something like this. Hang on. So, because what we're going to have to do is chisel out as well, chisel some of the wood out. So I'm just looking to see what would be easiest. Oh yeah, no, because you'll have a solid bit, wouldn't you? Just trying to think. So that one definitely down there, and then make sure what you're going to need to do is take enough wood out of around there so that the nut can spin, You see, I'd have to take slightly up higher there. I'm just trying to think of the easiest way to do this, because I wanted, that's got to be left like that. Right, let's just do this then. Like that. So take a line from that part there down to there like that, and then one there, and then remove these parts again. Yours will be one solid piece, mine isn't, mine's two pieces. Remove this middle part now and cut the wood out at those two marks and keep this part and this part. Right, let's cut them out. Simple enough, you know, just get it and cut it. Nothing complicated about this. One part. Cut out. Yours, like I said, would obviously be one solid piece. I didn't have a bit big enough. Keep the offcuts as well. So nice bits of this. through. Right, you should now have a piece of wood on your stock like that. Line those two pieces up how they should be, and then mark on this part of the wood on the inside, along there and along there, and then on the other side of the wood have both the pieces of wood like that, and then turn these over and again mark along there and along there, because that's where we're going to have to chisel part of the wood out. Not a lot, but we're going to need to do it so that you can fit in the 10mm aluminium. Obviously, at the moment our gap is only 3mm. Right, so let's start on this side. We're just going to mark it for now. Right, so get it in place. Yeah, this one. Put this in place. Did I say to keep these offcuts? Because we might need them. And what we're going to have to do is piece another thin bit of wood back in there later. It's not essential, but it will just help later on if we do it. Right, so you mark that side, now mark the other side. Okay, so you should now have both pieces of wood marked like that. Do not throw those away, you're obviously going to need them. Right. We are now going to need, try to think. Right, chisels. You're going to need your chisels, a Stanley knife, you know, some kind of craft knife, and a handsaw, possibly, if you do it the way I do. Right, get a straight edge and score into the wood. Make sure you see this. Right, we're straight back where we were. We're going to start chiselling out these two bits now. Now, I don't know any special techniques really, you know, all I do is I mark it with a knife first, score along that edge. Mind your fingers, you know, be very careful if you've got a sharp knife. And then go along here. Do this on both bits. Straight edge. And what you could also do is, at the thickness of your chisel, score lines down again. This may help. As I said, I'm not really trying to keep to the line. Right, so you should now have it marked like that. Right, I'm going to have to swap the camera around. Right, you're probably not going to get a very good view of this, but get your wood, stick it in a vise, and if you're using ply, I think what we're going to want to do, I think we're going to want to chisel down about 3mm down, so all of this has got to be in by 3mm. Stick it in a vise. Get a hammer and a chisel. Be very careful. The lines should be deep enough. Make sure that these lines that you scored are deep enough so that the wood doesn't split. your chisel. Just gently chisel it out. It almost wouldn't be easy, to be honest. It's not very good for it. This pliers seems to chisel off quite easily. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's not doing too bad. And just keep chiseling it away. Let's see if you can see better like this. I don't know if you can see that or not. Get your chisel under about 3mm. In fact, all it's doing is just taking that top layer off. Don't go too deep. It won't really matter if you do, like I said, there's so many points on this that we can change it or readjust it, you know. Right, I've took off a couple of mil there. I'm going to have to go a little bit deeper, I think, and then do the other side. So we'll come back in a minute and you should have both sections chiselled away inside. Just do about 3mm on both sides. That should just about do it. 3, so you've got 3mm that side, 3mm that side, and 3mm in the middle. That's 9mm. Your aluminium's 10mm, so you might just have to do a little bit more. Right, we'll see in a minute. Right, you should now have both your bits chiselled out. So if you want to at this point, put your bits of wood on, these two bits, just to see how it all fits together. You know, just to see if it's running alright. Get your nut, get that in place. Get your trigger. Get your other side, drop your bolts through. Let's see what this is like. Let's see what adjusting we need to do. Right. Let's see if mine will spin or not. Because you may need to do a bit more chiselling out. But you can see where we're getting to now. Right. I think you may, I don't know. Right, I'm definitely going to have to take more out. So, yeah. I'm going to have to chisel out more from inside, because when this is together the nut won't spin yet. So take out a bit more until the nut will freely spin when when the stock is squeezed together. Squeeze it, and you want that to be a spin while you're squeezing. Mine won't. Right, so we'll keep adjusting that hole inside until the two parts will freely spin when the wood is squeezed together. Right, you should have your two bits chiselled out now. I haven't checked mine yet, again. I'll check them now. They should by now fit perfectly. You want it so that they spin quite freely. You want it so that they spin quite freely even when the wood is squeezed together. Right. Let's see if you can see this. Let's just pull that down a bit because it's in the wrong place. with a little bit of adjusting, that pretty much spins alright. And the trigger, let's see. Yeah. So what you'll have is you have the spring pulling the trigger forward, and you cock the string back, and then the trigger then pops forward, and the string is then pulling against there. So when you pull the trigger, it releases it. See? Right, so the next thing we've got to do is take these two bits apart again, remove one section, whichever way round you got it, take this part, and you now need to cut about 10mm or 7, 7 or 10mm from the top part. This then creates the groove for the bolt to run along. We may also need to just round over the inside edges of the crossbow stock, but do this bit first and then we'll see. I'm probably just going to plane this off a little bit quicker, just to run a plane across it. I'll move the camera so you can see this bit. Put that bit back in the middle. Get all three bits, and just all three bits, or all four bits it could be now. I just want to see how big that groove is. You should now have, when that's in the right place, a little groove running down there. That is for the bolt to sit along like that. And yeah, I think that'll be alright. All we do, just put your piece of wood in a vice, or whatever you got, and we'll just file, just get a bit of sandpaper and just curve over that edge a little bit. Not a lot though. Just that inside edge, the one that's going to be inside of the groove. Do that on both bits. That'll just make that. It'll just make the bolt sit a little bit better. Let's look at this now. Just make sure you can see again. So, one bit, get your little middle bit, stick it in, so it's at the bottom, not the top, you know, there's supposed to be a groove there now. Get your other piece, just to have a look. And then, that is where the bolt will run along. And that way, also if you have that groove quite deep, you'll be able to fit a free flighted bolt on, but most pistol bolts only have the double flights, so it doesn't really matter. So that will sit along there like that. Right, the next thing to do is on one side only glue these two bits in, this part and this part. Not to glue those on in place like that, but only on one side. But the only stuff I've got is this. if you haven't actually, I was going to say if you haven't got any glue, you don't actually have to glue this, but it'll make it slightly easier if you glue it. I've barely got any glue really. Right, spread that across if you've got something to spread it with. You see that right, can't you? Yeah. Get this part, stick it on one side. Do not stick both sides, because you still may need to take this part at some time. You stick this one on. Stick this on one side. Yeah, don't stick both sides. We're definitely going to need to open it there, right? Right, stick your middle piece in. Make sure it's all lined up, not hanging over. Although if it is, we can sort that out later. That may be it for today, because we're going to have to wait for this glue to dry. You can test your have a look what your nut and that looks like. Yeah, so that's how far we are now. You should have your nut and trigger cut to size and filed and all that. They should be able to fit in now. The next parts I don't know, we'll have to fit the spring to the trigger, adjust it all, make sure it's all right, although it looks pretty good at the minute. Yeah, so we're going to need to put the spring on the trigger, adjust all that. We're going to need to put another little bit of wood in there, just to help when we put the little bit of aluminium on there, and then we'll shape it, and then we'll cut out the hole for the prod, and we're nearly there. And then it's just the cosmetic bits like the trigger guard, the front sight, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know what part we're on, but that's how far you should be through now. Alright, hope you're enjoying it. See you in the next part. See you later.